Welcome. Hi, Randall. How are you? You're welcome to Rae and Tay today. I'm Ray.
Right on, Ray.
How you doing?
Appreciate you guys. Good, man. I'm doing good. Appreciate you guys.
How you doing, Randall? I'm Tay, Eric Taylor, and we're just glad to have you join us, and we're very excited. Randall, I want to jump right into it. We just had the NFL draft this weekend, and for these young quarterbacks and a lot of these young players, why don't you tell us, number one, your draft experience, obviously in '85, coming out of UNLV, second-round pick. I don't know if you were, if Mel Kiper or any of those, experts were projecting you in the first round. But why don't you tell our audience about your draft experience, the phone call, and then what it is when you first get to a camp that you're not a college student, you're a professional.
Yeah. Well, the whole lifelong goal is to get there and to say I made it, and then to bless your family, take out your family. My goal was very simple. I just wanted to work hard and dedicate myself and do the best I could. The day that I was drafted, I sat around. They saying I would be drafted between the first and the second round, and I just got so antsy, and there was a reporter with me that I didn't stop watching the draft. Once they got to the end of the first round, I walked out of my house and went shopping, just to relax because it was nerve-wracking. And I went to the mall, and when I came back from the mall, back in the day you had answering machines that you go in your house and check in '85.
Oh, yeah.
And I went into my house, and as I was going in, my neighbor who played with me at UNLV said, "You got drafted by the Eagles in the second round. You're the 39th pick overall." I said, "Stop playing around." He said, "You did. Go check your answering machine." So I went and checked, and they said, "This is Lynn Styles of the Philadelphia Eagles. Randall, we've just drafted you, first quarterback in the NFL draft, and we're happy to have you." And I had signed previously with the Tampa Bay Bandits USFL team, a $4 million contract behind the scenes. And if I didn't get drafted, I was going to take that contract to play in the USFL. And it turns out that they flew me in, and I was excited. My first year, I just wanted to go in there and focus, and I knew I had a lot of studying to do. And all the hazing and all that stuff started. So it was difficult the first year. It really was.
Would you say, I guess, one of our callers had called in, would you say the same thing for Michael Sam, who was drafted by the Rams?
The problem with that is everybody's judgmental,
Right.
And I'm a pastor, and my take is hate the sin, love the person. So I love Michael Sam. I want to see this brother do great. I want to see him make it. Is the NFL ready for that? Is really the question, and it's an individual person-by-person basis. Evidently, the teams in the NFL were not willing to take that risk because the kid, I think he's a great player. I think he has all the ability, but some people can't handle, him kissing on television, and it just doesn't settle right. And then it gets into morals and what do people want to teach their children. So you have a lot of opinionated people. Everybody deserves a chance, without a doubt. And there's probably other players in different leagues or wherever. And, football is a little bit different. Sports is a little bit different. You go in a locker room, you have to shower with one another, and, you think about things and you think about a person who's dealing with issues like that. It does involve and it does affect a team. And he was a strong man to come out and say that. But as a pastor, I pray for him and I hope that he does well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, no,
Randall, let me ask you this. Now, we talk about this is a sports show, but also sports is part of life. So tell us a little bit about your work as a pastor in Las Vegas, how you've been committed to that profession now for quite a few years. And also tell us about, for all the sports fans out there, how is leading a congregation? And what are some of the lessons you learned leading men in the NFL and being a quarterback, which is a leadership position. So tell us some of the lessons that helped you, help you in football, help you in your life as a pastor, and vice versa.
Being a pastor is a whole lot harder than being a football player right now.
Amen. I know that's right.
In the football field, you can go to practice and you can leave. You don't have to deal with people. I could hide out at my house, but as a pastor, I have to be in people's lives. I have to be available for people, and that's what I am. And this whole experience with the NFL of going through the hard knocks of it and fans coming up and it being uncomfortable and not knowing people and being able to, hey, how you doing? A guy smacking me on the shoulder. Hey, Cunningham, I'm a big fan. Sign this while I'm eating or I'm asleep in first class on the plane. They could close the curtains and say, let the man sleep. But as a pastor, I just have to love on people and continually know that my life is no longer my life, but it's the life of Christ. And I love that. And here at Remnant Ministries, we have people who come here and visit from all over the world. I mean, people who were football fans, people who are celebrities. Morris Day was just in church, here yesterday. I mean, Richard Steele, professional boxer, Jonathan Ogden, I mean, Dick Dickerson. A lot of the professional athletes and entertainers have come to our church. I mean, TV stars, they come. Whenever they're in town, they say, Rand, I'm coming to your church. And Earl Campbell just came in. And I had to remind him of the time that I was playing, I think he was with the Saints, and I stunk the game up and got benched. And he came up to me after the game, and he says, Randall, don't lose your faith, brother. You're going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And he prophesied that. And I saw him when I was at the pool pit sitting in the back, and he came up looking good, too, and he's doing business. And he says, whenever I come to town, I'm coming. This is my church when I come to town. And I said, oh, you don't remember the time that you encouraged me, because I was in the tank that day that you just hugged me and put your hand on my shoulder and said, brother, keep it up. It's going to be all right. And that catapulted my career. So the influence that people have had in my life is still happening today, and I really thank God for it, because there's been so many fans that have supported me and even prayed behind the scenes for me that I may never even get to meet.
But I want to ask you this. Who today plays quarterback like Randall Cunningham?
Oh, my God. These guys are a whole lot better than me nowadays.
No, Ray. You're being humble, Ray. Listen, Ray was a Cowboy fan. I grew up in New York. We both grew up on 95th Street. I like Jets Giants, but I'm a Steeler fan. And I got to tell you, you made America, and you made a lot of young men, not just African-American, but, Tyler's Jewish, Irish, whoever it was, Randall. You made players. You made people become Eagle fans. You know what I mean? You were Twitter when you played. You know what I mean? So I got to give you that respect. But come on, tell us, who do you think today plays like Randall?
If I were to go on a limb and say who I feel is the up and coming athletic guy in the league, I think I'd have to go with a Cam Newton. I'd have to go with our guy with the 49ers, of course, Kaepernick. Love that kid. Vic, I could see Vic towards the end of his career with another 2 or 3 years of solid years left if they put him in the right system. And then RG3. Guys are ridiculous. RG3 needs to take care of his body, though. I'm like people, when I played, that's why I jumped in the air. I wasn't trying to get hit solid, so I would go up in the air and land kind of like a cat. I think those kids are so talented. And my boy from Louisville just got drafted with the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, my God. Teddy
Bridgewater. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't wait for him and Taj. And I'm happy for the kid that went to Jacksonville out of Florida. He's staying home. He's going to his smile was so big, and you could say it wasn't I made it, but it's like I get to keep playing is his heart. And let me tell you something. When you have a kid like that, it's those kids who don't win the Heisman Trophy who end up being great, great players who are so hungry. And, it's not like, well, I'm the Heisman Trophy candidate and nothing against our Florida State kid, but it's like I've got so much to accomplish. And these kids are being drafted. I'm so happy for them. And it's kind of like I'm not knowing all the names anymore, but I'm happy for all of them. And I think that they're going to. I just wish that they would get together and sow a seed in the church out here.